So you're stuck in traffic on the federal highway, right in the middle of a massive jam, and you miss that one green light.
Oh, yeah. And instantly you think, I mean, your brain just goes, nothing ever goes right for me. I am just permanently cursed.
Right. We have totally all been there. But today's deep dive is really about why our brains jump straight to that kind of doomsday thinking.
It is a totally natural reaction, but, well, it's actually a massive mental trap. And to unpack this, we are pulling some really cool insights from MindfulGym.
Oh, right, the mindfulness program.
Yeah, exactly. It's a highly practical, evidence-based initiative created right here in Malaysia by consultant psychiatrist Dr. Phang Cheng.
And it's customized specifically for a multi-ethnic community, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
making mindfulness a practical life skill you can use anywhere, rather than just sitting on a cushion.
Precisely. And our mission today is to hunt down a specific thinking error that Dr. Phang calls a ghost, specifically the ghost of overgeneralization.
I love that name. So overgeneralization, that's basically when you take one single isolated event and just inflate it into this giant universal rule.
Yeah, usually by slapping on those absolute words, like, always, never, or constantly.
But wait, let me play devil's advocate for a second here. If I'm driving to work and I literally hit every single red light on the way, I mean, doesn't that actually make me always unlucky?
Well, it definitely feels real in the moment, right? Because our
Right.
inner voice is just incredibly convincing. It is like diagnosing a terminal illness just because you sneezed once.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, that really puts it in perspective. Just one sneeze doesn't mean the end of the world.
Exactly. And this internal ghost, it leaks into how we communicate with others too, which actually ties directly into nonviolent communication, or NVC.
Oh, right, because if I'm overgeneralizing in my own head, I am definitely going to do it to my partner, right? Like snapping and saying, "You never listen to me."
Spot on. In NVC, they make this strict distinction between an observation and an evaluation. So an observation is a pure, objective fact.
Like what a video camera would actually record.
Yes, exactly. The camera lens. So instead of you never listen, the pure observation is, I spoke for 2 minutes and you looked at your phone.
Ah, I see. But saying "you never listen" is an evaluation. It's packed with all this judgment, and obviously that just triggers instant defensiveness and starts a huge argument.
Exactly. And this ghost of overgeneralization, it really haunts people everywhere, across all different backgrounds.
Yeah, for sure. Like, think about a daily commuter who messes up one single presentation at work and just declares, well, my whole career is a failure.
Or a student, who fails one math test and instantly decides, I will never succeed in school. I'm just not smart.
Oh, or take a house officer, right? A junior doctor in a super busy hospital ward. They have one awkward interaction with a patient and conclude, I am never going to be good with people.
That is a perfect example. Let's actually use that house officer to figure out how we defeat this ghost. Because MindfulGym gives us a really practical toolkit for this.
Okay, I am ready. What is in the toolkit?
It uses a combo of CBT, ACT, and self-compassion. So the first step, straight from cognitive behavioral therapy, is to shrink the conclusion.
Shrink the conclusion. Okay, but if I'm that stressed house officer, right in the heat of a busy ward, it's really hard to just snap out of a spiral. How do I actually shrink it?
You enforce the rule of specificity. You consciously force yourself to replace those absolute labels with specific times. So you change, I always mess up, to I messed up this specific time.
I like that, this specific time. It kind of just stops the bleeding right there.
Right, it contains the error, but, what if the thought just keeps lingering?
Yeah, exactly. Because sometimes the thought just gets stuck on a loop.
Yeah.
That is where ACT comes in, right? Acceptance and commitment therapy.
Yes. Specifically a technique called cognitive diffusion. You often hear this metaphor in mindfulness about letting thoughts pass like birds flying overhead.
Which sounds lovely, but honestly, just watching the bird usually means I end up chasing it down the street.
I totally get that. So a really practical way to diffuse it is by literally changing the phrasing in your head. So instead of thinking, I am a failure, you say to yourself, I am having the thought that I am a failure.
I am having the thought that I am a failure. Wow, that totally changes the weight of it. It adds a buffer.
Exactly. You realize you don't actually have to believe the thought. You just observe it passing by.
And that sets up the last tool perfectly, which is self-compassion. I mean, we really have to treat ourselves like we would treat a good friend.
We really do. You wouldn't look at a fellow house officer who made one mistake and say, yeah, you're permanently terrible at this.
No way. You would give them some grace. You'd tell them it's totally okay to make mistakes without labeling their entire existence a failure.
Precisely. So bringing it all together, the ghost of overgeneralization basically tricks our brains into turning single events into these false, sweeping universal rules.
But we can absolutely fight it. We can use that NVC camera lens to stick to objective observations instead of judgy evaluations.
Yes, and we overcome those thinking errors by using CBT to shrink the conclusion, ACT to diffuse the sticky thoughts, and self-compassion to just give ourselves a break.
So here is your call to action for this deep dive. The next time you catch the words always or never sneaking into your internal monologue, just pause. Swap them out for this specific time.
It is a small shift, but it makes a massive difference.
It really does. And I want to leave you with a quick thought experiment.
Yeah.
If you completely eliminated absolute words like always and never from your inner vocabulary for just one minute, how much lighter would your daily stress feel?
I bet it would feel like a huge weight lifted off your shoulders.
Definitely. So the next time you hit a red light on the federal highway, just remember, it's just this one light on this one day.